Good evening, students. So in continuation with the last class that we have discussed some of the Internet of Things applications, we will continue with the other applications also. So we have discussed about the vehicle asset person tracking, where vehicle tracking is easy, and your asset tracking also easy, that you can place some sensors and so that the assets will be following you. And drop tracking is similar to that of your asset tracking, where any animals can be easily tracked. And in the agricultural automation, we have done something like by measuring the earth level, that is earth humidity temperature level, we can able to switch on the motor for increasing the humidity level. And in the energy consumption wise, we will be automated our EV, so that our building can be smarter. And in the security category, we have discussed something like by placing the security camera in front of your home or in your any things, valuable things, if you want to keep monitor, then automatically it is done. And finally, we concluded with this topic, and now we will see what is a building automation. So under the category of building management, this may include many things like your home automation, office automation, and entire building automation likewise. So you assume that you are in an crowded area like Mumbai, and there are hundreds of homes are living there, peoples are living there, and you assume that there is an 10 or 20 floors are there in this building. So in a difficult building structure like that, you probably go with some elevators, right? So suppose if you are going there and pressing for your elevator, in the sense it will be take time consuming. But instead, if you program something like IoT kind of automation, then from the remote location, when you are arriving to the near to that building itself, automatically that's elevator will know that your arrival, and it knows where your flat is exactly located. For example, you assume that your flat is in 10th or 12th floor, then automatically it will move the flat down to their ground floor automatically. So as soon as you enter into the building, then your lift will be ready to elevate you to your 10th or 12th floor automatically. And this could be easily done with the help of this IoT process. And next one is your pipelining. Suppose in an building like 10 or 12 floor structure, your pipelines are installed in each and every floor. So if you want to keep monitoring which particular portion is consuming more and which particular portion is consuming less, like that, you can keep monitoring, and you can able to build them accordingly. So in that smart buildings, everywhere that measurements will be done, and also you will be charged according to your usage. For example, if the lift, if you are using daily only one time, then you may not be charged much for that particular category. And if you are consuming more water in one particular day, then proportional to that consumption, you will be charged. Okay, so this is something like your Amazon cloud, where they will be charging you depending upon the uh, amount of usage. Excuse me, I'm getting a call continuously. And next one is your everyday connected things. If you want to automate your home like Siri kind of methods, it will be easily done just directly by connecting into the internet. And finally, telemedicine and healthcare kind of automation. So in the recent days, this requires more credit, because if you want to do some medicine, suggest a medicine for one particular patient, then definitely that particular patient has to move into that place of doctor, and by that they will be measuring their parameters like temperature, their ECG level, everything, and they will be coming into a solution whether to treat them in the hospital or in somewhere else. Like that they will be getting a conclusion. But instead, if they were imposing you with some telemedicine kind of concept, then from your home itself your parameters or the data can be collected easily through the internet or the wearable things like wrist watches or any other form of materials that will easily track you, as well as it will give you the exact data that your body has, right? So in this pandemic situation, definitely we are in need of this particular telemedicine and healthcare kind of concept, so that we are planning in our college also in front of your gate. As soon as the college reopens, when you are entering into the gate itself, they will be used to measure your body temperature, definitely. So that process was manually done nowadays, but our engineering trainees from all the laboratories were working on one project called this healthcare project. So they will be fixing one window, so through that window you will be allowed to pass. Suppose when you are having a body temperature more than a prescribed level, automatically you will be stopped in that place itself, and it will match you with your ID card data or something like your other ID values, so that it will easily tell you which particular student will be having problem, and it will allow you to use some prescribed medications likewise. Okay, so this is easily done with the help of this IoT process. And not only this, you can keep monitoring any kind of patients, like suppose if any patient is suffering with some um, sugar level, then automatically they need to check their sugar level every day or once in a week, like that, and they will be reporting it to the doctor. So depending upon their sugar level, doctors may either increase or decrease the dosage. So for that, the patient will often go to that laboratory for measuring that, and also they will be taking the data to the hospital again, and it's an kind of time wastage for them, and also they will be losing more money for that. But instead, if you have this particular IoT kind of system, then from their home itself they can able to send that information to the doctor directly, and via that given app or given website, they can able to log into that hospital address, and they can get their solution from the doctors or the suggestions from the doctors. So, and also if you want to monitor any ICU patient 24/7, definitely it is not an easy solution. But in the case of this IoT, you can keep monitoring any particular patient for 24/7 without any problem, because the sensors which we are implementing into the hospitals or in the ICU unit will be keep on sending the data in fractions of second, even microsecond or in millisecond also it will give you. So as soon as the coma patient is raising, or if any ICU patient is needed of some help, then definitely it will be sending an information to the doctor, so immediately the doctors can address that particular patient. So this is easily done with the help of this IoT process. And under the category of smart cities, so this is what our topic is. We are going to discuss more on this particular smart homes and smart cities. And in the smart city category, it is not a very single technology, very single automation. It is going to be an entire automation of things and industries available inside the city. Okay, so you can have your home automation, you can have your industry automation, everything it is available inside the smart city applications. I'm sorry, I'm getting another one problem, power cut just few minutes, I'll be back. So under the category of this particular smart city, we can include everything. It is not a single particular automation. So entire city, whatever the things you find, everything can be automated by using this IoT technology. So, and also we can automate our everyday things like your system, your refrigerator, your chairs, your keys, your plants, your shoes, your wallets, everything. So that we discussed much before earlier. And also we can form a kind of things like wireless networks, wireless sensor networks, because nowadays instead of placing each and every controller along with some sensors, we can go with some wireless sensors that would serve better, where the controlling operations or the microcontrollers will be already inbuilt within that sensors, and it definitely it will reduce the amount of work by your design engineer. They don't there is no need to design one particular software or the code for particular sensor to work with, and easily that will send you the data through cloud, so from to the virtual location. So that is called a wireless sensor network. So here another one example is given with wearable technology. So where the wristwatch will measure your body parameters, and it will easily give you the data with your mobile phone. This everyone want nowadays. And next one is your smart appliances. As I told you before, right, whenever there is an inadequate of things inside your refrigerator, then that will be given as a notification to your mobile phone. And also the temperature level inside that freezer, inside your each and every cabin can be easily monitored. And in the healthcare also we can able to do many automations. So before going to the smart city applications, we should know what is the industrial revolution is. So under the category of industry revolution, we have come across industry version 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 kind of things. But nowadays industry 4.0 is booming, and in future industry 5.0 is going to come. And what is an industry version represents means, first in the industry version 1.0, the machines will be fully automated with the help of some steam engines. So where you can find the applications like steam engine based trains, right? So those things will be available. But before to that, manually the persons will move from one place to the other place. After the introduction of this particular steam engine, it is automated. So this is a version 1.0. In industries also they used this steam engine to automate the very big kind of machines for easiness of your workers. But in the case of outcome, it needs more coal or some other sources to produce some steams. Okay, so there it lacks. நீ ஒன் பண்ணு நெட் ஆன் பண்ணிக்க போ. So industry 2.0, can you able to see my screen now? I'm sorry, I forgot to switch on the screen. Is it visible? Yes, thank you. So in industry 1.0 they automated with the steam engines. The only problem is we are in need of more sources for generating this particular steams, and thereby the automation was very less. It was costlier too. And then the second generation, that is in the industry version 2.0, mass production has been implemented in 1980s because of this intervention of this electricity, where this electricity has been used in everywhere, even from your home to industry level, and thereby your productivity increases because of the electrical machines, electrical engines. Your automation was excellent level, and thereby your production was very high. And in the third category, that is in the industry version 3.0, still we used our electricity to automate all your machines, but in addition we have added our computers to program your machine, as well as we used our mobile phones to automate your machines. For example, your CNC machines can do this automation, where your computer will be there in one place and you have to program according to your need. How much grindings, how much phasings you have to done for one particular tool, you have to program it in a virtual place, and from that you can able to automate that particular machine. So this is easily done with the help of the industry version 3.0. And nowadays we are using industry version 4.0, and we are developing that industry version 4.0 relevant processes. So what here done is, so you can compare this picture. So industry version 3.0 is automated with the computer, but it is manually connected, where the computer or the controller will be available within that factory itself. But see, the industry version 4.0, it is wireless connected, right, where each and every devices will be imposed with some sensors, or your machines will be imposed with some sensors to monitor, and from the remote location we can have a clear cut monitoring. Okay, so for example, if I'm having an industry in my Coimbatore city, and from here I can able to see say what and all the machines were running at that particular time, and what is the productivity of each and every machine, and what are all the products that it is handling. Everything I can able to say from this remote location, either by turning on my camera, or by seeing the current consumption of each machine, or the productivity ratio of each machine. I can able to put in a graph, and that I can able to see in my app itself. Okay, so this is easily done with the help of this industry version 4.0, this remote control offers. And also we can able to send a control signal from my location. Okay, I can able to turn off any particular machine, or I can, if I want to increase the productivity, I can run the day and time, or I can set some timers for running that particular process. Everything can be automated. So this is industry version 4.0, where IoT is added with your already existing wired connection. It is not only because of the wireless to wired connection to wireless, but also you are going to monitor as well as control. Okay, even your IoT can be wired connection, okay, sometimes, but you can still automate your things with IoT, in the sense you can monitor and control your things, in the sense it is called industry version 4.0. And in future 5.0 is going to come. What is there in the 5.0 is that artificial intelligence, that is, it will be doing the operation as similar to that of your yeah, human. Okay, so it will take a decision as like the human beings doing, and also it will be doing taking decisions, and it will be assigning some works based upon your instructions. Okay, so that will be trained model. So initially it will be given with more examples how to do the one process, and later on it will be doing something like automated machines, like, so it will be self-thinking car. Okay, autonomous car kind of things we can able to do. That is called industry version 5.0. so that's our aim. So here in this example you can see how your industry version 3.0 is working, where the machine is given the instruction from this computer. So this is directly connected to the machine. So and also these two things are within the single room. Okay, that is in the industry only you will be having the machine as well as the computer. It is not from the remote location. The person has to sit on the computer and program according to his need. And here you can find some smart appliances in your home. During daytime it will be turning off your light, and during night time automatically it will turn on. Sometimes if the intensity level is less, also your time light can be turned off, and the same can be communicated to your mobile phone, and you can see that mobile phone display where it will tell you whether the intensity level is high or low, and whether the light is on or off likewise. And in the case of smart city, you can able to integrate your vehicles, that is the number of vehicles inside the city, whether that vehicle is having sufficient quality certificate or not, whether it is emitting more carbon dioxide level. Likewise, we can able to monitor easily with the help of some sensors like gas sensors, and the countings can be easily done. And if you want to permit that particular cargo inside your city during this particular time means, then it is easily done. So next one is solar automation, where you will be having so many windmills inside the city, and the productivity also directly connected to the cloud, so that EB persons will know that the productivity of your windmill is high, and thereby they can able to reduce the productivity in the other areas, right? So like they'll be having some coal energy to produce some electricity, so that they can able to reduce proportional to the wind energy level. And we can automate any vehicles inside your city like bicycles, cars and everything. And also we can automate your each and every smart appliances available inside your city, like your printers, your temperature reading, like each and every places what is your weather report, and your smart, sorry, wireless kind of speakers, your light, everything can be automated. Here you can see that smart buildings are available. So these things will be automated easily inside your IoT. And here in this application you can see what are all the possibilities to automate your school. Okay, so within school how to implement an IoT is given here. So at the first picture you can see each and every table will be provided with some laptops and or the monitors. So this will be easily integrated with the teacher's monitor. So that is what we are doing it nowadays. From my home I am just sending information from my own laptop to your device, right? So you are there in your home. So this is the best example for our IoT automation, where we are all connected, right? So I myself connected my laptop to the cloud, and you are also connected to the cloud. So here our cloud will be your Google Meet. So from that through the Google Meet I can able to share my datas, right? So either in the PPT format or in the picture format, or it may be like your video, or it may be voice command. So many information that we are sharing, right? So this is an best example where the connected things will offer to the human beings. So in the smart school also, without any wires connection or wired connection, we can able to share the information between each and every persons available. So this is easily done. And another one thing is complete coverage within the high performance Wi-Fi. So where in our college also we are having Wi-Fi to connect with. So within the campus, if you want to share everything, it can be easily done. This is a kind of automation. And online testing, this is another one best example that we are doing it now with the help of this online testing only. Nowadays we are conducting the formative assessment. And the robot cleaning also can be easily done, where your places will be cleaned easily with the moving robots. and your robots for STM and remote presence will be done, and this network and appliances monitoring will be there in our STC block, and they will be telling you which particular IP is used by which particular system, and how much amount of data that they were utilizing per a day, and what is the data traffic level. Everything they will be monitoring in a chart like manner. And also we can have your Wi-Fi kind of sensors for locking your entrance and exits also. And also your classroom doors can be easily locked with the Wi-Fi connections, and you can have some secure surveillance and security cameras in your college. So this entire thing is applicable in our college, I think. And you can have some augmented and virtual reality too, to understand more about your concepts. Okay, so in our laboratory we have this equipment, so you can understand, if you want to understand any particular critical concept in the engineering, that you can easily done. And even you can make some 3D printers. So in the 3D printing laboratory it is available, where things can be automated from the from anywhere, and also we can able to monitor. And wearable things can be given to each and every persons inside your school. Like if you are imposing one particular wearable things to your athlete, then their body parameters will be easily analyzed, and the reports will be sent to both the coach as well as to the athlete, so that they can improve better. And also they can able to know what is their present status level and everything. And supply and inventory of tracking by sensors with auto recorders is possible. And also you can go with some internet of things based heavy voltage AC supply, where from any particular point we can able to get access to your high voltage AC. If you want to shut down one particular place also, it is easily done. And monitoring and display of air quality throughout your school is done. It is placed in it is going to place a very big role in our Delhi city. Soon after we are going to use in all the other cities too. And even we can place some sensors in the parking lot, so that we can able to easily identify wherever we can have a parking slot, so there is no need to wait or search for that particular area. And next one is the sensors that will be tracking your buses, as like your trains have been tracked. Nowadays if you want to know where your train was, we have a number of websites, right? So similar way, if your school buses have been automated, then automatically your parents will be knowing that where exactly my kid was there, right? And where exactly your buses is there, and whether you are there inside the bus or not, like that they can able to get a notification, because you are all connected. You will be given with one sensor, and buses will be added with so many sensors, like your camera or some other kind of sensor, so that these two will talk each other. So as soon as you are entering into the bus, there is a message will be sent to your college as well as to your parent, confirming that you are inside the bus, and the bus will be there in one particular place likewise. Okay, so this is easily automated in the case of your school. And you don't think that the smart parking is a very simple thing, but it is playing a vital role here. Okay, so if you see the Google's real-time data in the Google map, then it is you can wonder. Okay, so even billions of users were daily tracking their parking place from one place to the other place, because whenever you are going for parking your vehicle in an unknown place, then definitely it is a tough kind of job. Okay, so this you might be felt in the case when you are going for a tour in the other cities. Okay, so for example, if you are going for a small trip to Goa or somewhere else, Cochin, kind of things, you may not be familiar with that particular place. So you should know where exactly you have to park your vehicle, and in very few places only they will be allowing you to park your vehicle, and that too, that may be filled. So due to that, we have spent a lot of time so that I have experienced, right? So if you go, you may realize that. So this is an important parameter where you have to say your driver where exactly your parking space is available and what is their cost level and everything. This could be easily automated with your IoT, where you have to place some simple sensor to identify the object within that parking slot. The simple sensor like your IR sensor is more sufficient, or your ultrasonic sensor is more than sufficient for doing this operation, where whenever that particular object or the car is filled in that particular slot, automatically it will tell you the parking slot is filled, that is that particular slot is filled. So we may have some hundreds of slots in that parking area, so all these sensors are saying that it is filled, then without knowing that if you are approaching that particular parking area, it is waste, right? So if it is connected thing and if it is a smart city, then definitely these data will be easily available in the Google Map itself. So before getting into that area, we can able to know whether we have empty space in that area or not, likewise. So nowadays Google will tell you whether this particular road is having some traffic jam or not, right? And how long you have to wait for one particular route, also immediately it is showing. So this is an good kind of automation, right? So likewise we may have some automation for your smart parking, and thereby you can able to save something like 41 billion of US dollars. So this is that much amount of matter, right? So it is not a simple thing. And next one is your efficient waste management in smart cities. So definitely it is required nowadays, because in each and every smart city will be polluted more because of this particular thing, and they will be imposed with more wastages, and they were struggling to get some um, solution for this particular waste management. But we can come up with a simple solution in the IoT, where you can place some of the sensors into your container or the garbage cans, and the garbage cans will be continuously monitored. For example, if the garbage can is about to fill, that is above 75% of level it is occupied, then automatically we can send a notification to your remote system, that is municipality unit. You can able to give them a information, so that the municipality people will come and clear that waste so immediately. And this will be possible for any small kind of waste bins to very big kind of garbage cans. Okay, so everywhere you can able to place this particular sensor. It doesn't cost much. And also the controller, we can have it in our lamppost itself. So in a smart city we can find lamppost everywhere, right? So there only we can able to fix some controller or the centralized receiver we can fix. Okay, so here in my home I am just using my mobile phone as my Wi-Fi network provider, and similarly in our college there are some Wi-Fi routers are available. But in the case of smart city, where do you find these things, right? So for that, the best solution is you can put that node, connectivity node, in your lamp post, so that will cover around 100 to 200 meters of area. So within that area, whatever the smart devices are sending the information, that will be easily collected and it will be uploaded into the cloud as well. So this is easily done. So you can see there is one sensor placed in this blue color garbage bin, and this will be sending the notification to the sensor available or the controller available in the lamp post. So from that lamp post, it is sending the information to your cloud directly. And also suppose if you have some wireless kind of sensors placed in your garbage cans, that can easily transmit directly to your cloud. This is also done, right? And also this garbage can, as soon as it fills, then it will send a notification to the vehicle driver or the truck driver, so that he will be coming and clearing that particular cans. So this is easily done. And by analyzing this particular data, we can the municipality people can know that which particular area is